Alright, hey y'all, it's Pizza Hulk. I'm back here in Fallout 4. Finally. Hopefully this is going to work. We're going to see. We might end up blue screening. We might not be able to save, but I'm going to put something out. I've adjusted my microphone setting. Hopefully it's a little louder than the last video. We're going to see. But welcome to the Pizza Palace. So I had to reload. Well, I had to delete the game, reload the game, figure out all my mods. It deleted a bunch of my favorites. I don't know. It took a while. I don't have everything back, but I think I have enough to do a video. And it's been a minute since I've done one of these, and I just feel like it was time to get one out. So what you're looking at here is a mess, but it's a happy mess. I think it looks pretty good. And I needed to try multiple mods.
One that ends without an empty stomach.
Well, you're a farmer, so should be good. But yeah, I just needed to build different things, try different things, and put different things together to see which mods were maybe conflicting with each other. And once I got that pretty much set, at least I hope. You know, I think I'll be all right. So, like I said, I don't know if it's going to crash. I don't know if it's going to blue screen here or whatever. But hopefully, I've got my mod order straight and all the Creation Club stuff off that was possibly conflicting. And we can make a video. So where I left off last time, as you can see, things are a little different because, again, like I said, I needed to try some different stuff out, different mods, put different types of furniture and different things down to see how they're working. I tried to build a little theme, you know. This guy's busy.
Ain't looking for trouble, I hope.
Nope. Just hanging out. But I was finished off in the last video talking about how we needed to get a base set up where I could recruit people. And one of the reasons I need to do that is because one of the mods I'm using from Andrew CX allows you to place down settlers, right? So if I walk up to this one right here, it'll give me 3 female settlers. And if I walk up to this one here, it will give me 3 male settlers. And what you need to do is, once you pop them in, move them to your settlement and give them a job. That sort of locks them into the settlement. But the only problem is, sometimes your settlers will unassign from their beds, from their jobs. It's just Fallout 4. I don't know why it does it. Like, why is this guy still out here in the fields and everybody else is done? Whatever. But be aware of that. So I like to have a few settlers that I bring in with just the regular settlement beacon. And we've got that going here. Or had it going. It's off right now. Because I don't like my provisioners to be anything but straight up from the... oh. The neighbor's cutting the grass. Give me just 1 sec. That was really loud. It's still pretty loud. Anyway, so I like to use real settlers from the game as my provisioners. It just makes things a little safer. And we were trying to set up a provisioner for Red Rocket, and there they are right now. Have you watched any of my videos before? Let me get the light on the sign there. I like to put these guys in postal uniforms. It's always the same. Hat, uniform, stars and stripes. for the bandana and the patrolman sunglasses. And you know, this is a Commonwealth. I don't know why it's the U.S. mail, but Red Rocket. So I'd taken Red Rocket in the last video, and it pretty much looked like this, except it had a bunch of garbage in it. And all I did was kind of go through and clean up most of the trash that was laying around. There's probably still some stuff laying around. A few things I left just for, you know, role play purposes. Let me hold on. Hopefully that lawnmower is going to kill that noise. It's a classical song, so hopefully it doesn't affect anything. But first thing I need to do is get myself a bed. And since I have a provisioner here from Sanctuary, and I've got all those supplies that we saw in the last video, putting anything down or building anything won't be an issue. Now I do have these unique kind of beds from a mod that turns couches into beds. And I think that really sort of adds something to the playthrough. Because why not have some people crashing on the couch? I think that's what it's called. There we go. Got myself a bed. And we're going to turn the lights on by taking a nap. I just thought it looked cool for that opening shot of the Pizza Palace. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and squirrels, you got to check out the Pizza Palace. I had fun with the neon. I definitely wanted to get that going because it was a different mod. And these lunch pails are full of fancy rings that help me do things like fly and fall without dying. But most of the garbage, like I said, has been cleaned out. I left a few things behind. And one of the things I like to think about before I start building a settlement is a theme. Sometimes it's a theme for maybe your whole build, like what you're going through or going for. So maybe you're going through a Brotherhood of Steel playthrough and you want a lot of technical gear and technical type stuff. Maybe you're thinking of a minimalist kind of Minuteman or Raiderish type playthrough, like a true scavenger playthrough, and you want to use a lot of the junk and crap kind of building materials. Maybe you want to rebuild the future and use a bunch of stuff from the home of the future. It really just depends on what you feel like doing. But just to give people sort of a starting point or something to think about, Red Rocket is just in front of Sanctuary. Sanctuary for most people is going to be their main settlement. Sometimes for a lot of people it's their only settlement. Or one of two or three. Hopefully I'll help people, inspire some people to expand on that just a little bit. But Red Rocket's right in front of it, and so you're thinking, and you're on the end of the Commonwealth here as far as the map is concerned, right? So we're in this little tiny back corner. There's really not... I have all the map locations turned on except for the ones that aren't. I don't really know how to explain that, but some of them aren't showing up. This is probably one of the easiest areas, some of the least threats. It's not the safest, but it's safer than the rest of the Commonwealth. And then everything kind of stacks in here, obviously. And this is like the worst place in the world. It's off the map. That should tell you what you need to know there. It's bad, bad, bad. But we want to sort of establish ourselves here, and as you can see, Red Rocket is sort of like our entranceway. We have like a moat system, if you think about it, with this little river lake system around us, and there's one road in, sort of, unless you want to cross radiated water full of evil bugs and raiders. So this is my main defense point into my main housing area where everybody's going to live and trade and do their things. So I kind of want this to be a bit of a trading post, but also an actual kind of fortress, right? This is where I want the fighting to be. I don't want it to be in where my people live. I don't want it to be where all my stuff is. I want it to be out here. So they're going to have to attack this first if they're trying to get me. And then also, I want this sort of to be the outer post where, like, where you come in, you get a few goods, you get a few things, maybe a meal, and do a little work, and then you bounce. You don't even need to go all the way into Sanctuary. We can help you right here. So that's the plan that we're going with. So we're going to pop into build mode, start building. While I eat this piece of chocolate left over from Halloween. Couches. I have scrap mod on. You can get back to the first video to see some of the mods. I was able to get most of them back. It's the same scrap mod. So I could get rid of this hedge maze here if I wanted to. But it forms sort of this natural barrier. I don't really have a problem with it. Obviously, I'm using Andrew CX's USO integrated. Got a piece of concrete. It literally fits like right perfectly in here. Get it to about the hedge height. We can pull it over a little bit and maybe close it off. It's one of those. So we've got this massive area closed off from any kind of attack. It's just a bush, right? You think a Molotov would take this out in a matter of seconds, but I don't make the physics in Fallout 4. They do. Now we could continue with the concrete. Concrete's one of those funny things in the game. It's not that expensive. But it can be tough to get early game. Normally you wouldn't have it here. But I'm going to use it. At least for a little bit here. Because it snaps. And I want a pretty straight line and try to get... I don't really want to try to curve out this line right here. So I'm basically trying to work it to this next wall area. You can see it makes this left here. Gives me a little bit of space in the back area to work too, but might float just a little there. So I'll go ahead and turn the corner. And back that way. So pretty much the majority of the right side of my base is completely protected there with just a few concrete walls. Easy peasy. So we're up here on top of the red rocket, and the red rocket is kind of one of the smaller areas. The green marks the area where I can build, and I didn't put a mod on to change that. It's not wider or anything. I can't go outside of that boundary. So it's definitely one of the smaller areas for you to build in. If you want to build here, generally speaking, you want to build up. Now, I used my little rocket pack here to get up here. But if you go into wood and stairs, and this is in the basic game, right? Pretty cheap. You can usually jump up that way. All right. Now, I've cleaned up a ton of garbage, trash, vines, but you'll see I left this garbage pile here. And I left it here for a reason, because it's going to help me place this piece of wood on the edge. And I'm going to try to get it out about as far as I can, and straight. We'll check it here in a minute, and a little over here to the left. There was a time where you could put stairs in. I don't know if it'll let me do it. Yeah. You used to kind of be able to squish them into this trash pile. Alright, let me go with the safe bet. And I don't want it to be too crooked. So I'm going to come to the right just a little bit. I think that'll do it. And then we're going to stick some stairs on here. Hopefully. Yep. And that is going to be the beginning of my bridge on how people get across and up to the top here. Now, what's nice is that this is pretty flat, right? So we just need a little bit of room for our folks to get in. I'm putting those down because it's letting me, but I'm curious to see if that's going to be something I can do something with. Yeah, I was going to be surprised if I can go any further. However, we have other options available. To give me a little bit of room to play with, and then we'll see. Can I get another? Yep. But I'm going to actually leave that off for now. Alright. There they are. Can I get walls on? I'm not sure. Oh wow, it's gonna kind of let me do it, maybe? Too much garbage in there. That's alright. I only need so much room. How about this side? Yep. Golden on this side. Excellent. Oh, I built the wrong. Yeah, well, it'll work. Now, if you want to use some different types of wood to make this look however you want to make it look, a little garbagey, go for it. But I think I want... It's about as far as I want to go. So, let's see if I remember how to do this. I actually think I need to change... Oh, maybe it's maybe I just put a stairs on. Yeah, that's what I do. Alright. Got my stairs on. And then... I'll figure out a way to deal with that in a minute. I feel like I'd done something wrong. No, I'm doing it right. Okay, so... I'll get there in a minute. And so what I'm doing is basically creating some space center blocks would have looked better defensive wise because, you know, but do we really have all those cinder blocks? We'll figure something out. So I'm gonna hop to ladders. Always having one of these around is helpful. Let's see, I think here. Yes. Right, maybe here. There we go. Get that attached. I was hoping to do a level down. Store. But I don't think that's gonna snap. Oh, I'll count that. Get one more? Yeah. So this is going to go right to the edge of the build area. I'm not sure if I'll be able to build on that. So I think we're going to switch to these guys. And see if that wall's not going to snap. Let's try this wall. Doesn't really matter how many mods you put on. You never know. There we go. I was hoping to kind of sneak it in. Maybe. A bit of curved concrete or something. Yeah. I saw you go blue. Oh, 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 that's good enough. All right. Yeah. Block that off. That's not going to be quite right, but that's all right. I got something for that too. I think it's time for some kind of, yeah, here we go. We're going for just a whitewashed or blue wall. Here we go. We're going to whitewash. I was going to say, I think I can get these attached. There we go. For a little bit of protection, possibly, if you think about it. Come on, get in there. I heard you click. I gotcha. Might be pushing it there a little bit. There we go. Sort of a just a good old-fashioned fence stuck on the back here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get any more on it. Maybe some half walls. Alright, so now you can see that we've got, believe it or not, 2 stories of a structure. And this is going to be the sleeping quarters where we keep all the people. And that leaves the majority of the space still available for me to do a lot with. And on top, here, it's going to be sort of a little restaurant type area. Just a place for them to hang out, and I can find them when I need them. And they'll be kind of safe if there was going to be a settlement attack. So, if they happen to be here and it's after 8 o'clock, or 5, most of them should be okay. Alright. Now I need to flush out the rest of this building. And the best way to do that is to put a door on, right? Let's stick this one on right here. And I think I'll give myself one. Here. Need some stairs. Now I use these a lot, the wide ones instead of like the smaller ones. It just seems that the settlers have a bit of a better time with these. They'll occasionally push each other off the stairs, but I mean, for the most part, this works out a little better. Let's see, we go to walls, go to half walls. There we go, fix that. And we got a little window-ish. Alright. So if you want variety and light and a little bit of space, you want to use some of these different types of walls that you can use. This one in particular gives you a good bit of light. So I like to stick a few of those in there. And then this one as well. So we'll get a decent amount of light here in the center, and then we can kind of mix it up. Oh, I did have my light on. To kind of give it this ramshackle look, like we're building stuff out of all these different materials that we're finding around. Now, remember, we have Sanctuary nearby, so we could be using uh, pieces of walls that look a little bit like Sanctuary. We have the vault that we could be raiding from. So you get pretty creative with the things that you want to mix it up with. Yeah, head down to those retextures and just have a look. Like I said, there's vault walls in here. So you could be like, alright, well, we used a piece of the vault. You can even get your diner going here. Actually, I like that. I'm leaving that. Just kind of mix it up. The the signage is kind of fun too. Like you found an old billboard piece and you stuck it up there to, like, there's the mailman, to use it for a wall. So get creative. Try to use different things. When you have these mods on, just go through and just start digging through them. And you might find some unique and different types of pieces where you're like, all right, yeah, that looks more like what I want, you know. So I'm a fan of these as well. You can get some light, and these are good with the curtains. These are good with the kind of slats. But they add just a little bit more space, and a lot of times I like to stick beds in here. It just makes life a little easier. Normally I don't think I spaced this right. I think I added one too many to my bridge here. Like, I know I did. And I would have a whole row of those on the back for more sleeping. But I don't really need it. I'll be fine. Grab some floors. I like the one that's like the floor and the ceiling. So this one right here. And remember, I have unlimited basic supplies, so there we go. Second floor is up. Now you can do different things. Maybe I'll do something a little similar. Well, yeah, why not? To what I did in Sanctuary there, and we'll go to. Yeah, I think it's barn. Retextures, home of the future. I'll go blue this time. And now you can go like straight home of the future where you can have these beautiful windows and walls and not the aesthetic that I'm going for right now. Although I could get more room out of the place if I go Craft Shack. Yeah. Craft Shack it is. Alright. So again, I need more flat wall on this back piece because I built it a little too far out. Hello. Kind of make sure I get, like I said, a little bit of light. Coming from this. That'll work. Go back to these guys. That one's also a good one to allow a little extra light in. And I want to seal this off because I don't want to get shot. So you'll see there's no real windows on this back end because that's where bad guys come from. And they can shoot in through these holes, so not on this back side anyway. We'll go to half doors, walls, whatever it is, and we're going to start sealing these up. I wondered if that was going to work because I put that over there. The floor's in already. That's fine, doesn't really matter. What do I need? Walls. And I got these nice little corner caps. This one lets in a lot of light. And there you go. Obviously we need a roof here. Now you could do a couple of different things. You could go for your traditional sort of like slanted roof. It'll look good. I think more appropriate. Or you could put like a floor down with a ladder. Actually, I could probably do both. That's why flying is amazing on this end. Alright. Toss the ladder on. Think about it, you're slightly protected as you come up here. Then I think I'll regular roof the rest. See if I can sneak a half wall on here. I don't think that's gonna work. That's all right. And since I want some nice defensive positions, I'll put the heavy laser here. Yoink. And a bullet monster here. For people that approach this way. Tough day. Now you could put some guns up on this side, but more than likely you're going to draw trouble in. And sometimes you need to learn that about your settlements, sort of where the attacks are actually coming from, and where maybe some bugs are hanging out or some random scavengers are walking by. We don't need to engage everybody or everything. This direction is one of the directions where you get attacked from in the Red Rocket, as well as from this direction. It's usually super mutants, and occasionally from this direction. So it's mostly centered around the road and this backside. So you kind of don't need anything over here except for roleplay purposes. Alright, look at that. Boom. Why is this going to be helpful? Well, once I get a few more doors and things on, I'll show you. I swear this thing's never in the correct direction that I want it to be. Alright, that's locked off. We've got our throughway. We've got her up to that thingy. Let's see if I can get a few railings on. So mixed up the colors a little bit again, just to make it look a little funky and ramshackle. I got these two walls down. That's going to be pretty helpful. Now I need a door. Or two. I think they'll be able to get in just fine. Again, I'm looking for light more than anything. I don't think that's going to lock in there, yeah. It's going to be like that. Wow. Can't put that on there. Oh, I tell you what it could do, though. Alright, I got an idea. So floors and stairs. There we go. Oh yeah, they can get through here. Perfect. And then there we go. Smack my wall on that way. And then I think I have some room to add some room, as it were. Oh, come on. There we go. We got one on for sure. There we go. Two. And four. Boom. Nice and airy, open. I'll move this for just a second, hopefully. Half walls. There we go. The only thing I'm not going to be able to do, though, is have a door on the top floor. And it might look a little goofy, but remember, if you've ever played Minecraft, that's just the game sometimes. Slap you on there. Perfect. Why don't you work right? Nice. Once I'm up here, I can once again increase my space just a little bit by popping these guys on. Get a little light in here because, again, we're not really facing enemies from this direction. Get the corner cap. Half walls. I can't remember. Let me see. Can I put a railing on this thing? I don't. Oh, I can. Dope. Alright. I like that. Taking some kind of metal. Yeah, that'll work. Nice. And there you go. Get the roof on, and we're about there. So I don't really plan on going up. Yeah, we'll stick with this. I don't plan on going up any further. Because you can fly doesn't make it easy. There we go. Now let's have a look. Sun's coming up. Turn that off. Not too shabby. So if you look, we've used the back area to basically create not only a living area, but also a wall to keep bad guys out. We built an actual wall to keep bad guys out. And then we've got another area up top, which I'm going to use for multiple purposes. So the top room could be your personal space, your player home. And the bottom area, I'm just going to turn into like a little restaurant area. which may be able to spill out a little bit this way, although with this slope here, there's not much you can do past the point where I've already built. So we're going to go to one of my favorite mods. It's called SEO. It's Settlement of Electricity Overhaul. Now there's two versions of this. I'm using the older version because I prefer it. Now apparently I guess it can cause problems. But personally I've never had an issue with it. And what it's going to do is give me this wireless fuse box here. It's got 10,000 electricity, right? Way more than I need. But it's going to add power to the entire settlement. So that means for most things, I'm not going to need to run wires to anything else. However, there are a few things that still end up requiring wires, so I want to be able to place this in a place where I might be able to use that to get wires attached. So you see the little green lights on, and you see my power is 999, and if I take one of these here light bulbs, power. Like I said, it doesn't work on everything, but it works on most things. So we can take this over here. We could put this in the road if we wanted to for travelers in the night. Like we'll put it right on the edge there, maybe even out a little bit, right there. But oftentimes what I do is I place some light in the build so I can see at night if it becomes night while I'm building, and then I fix it before I'm done. And so before I started the video here, when I was making the pizza palace, I had very different lighting on it. I had it very bright like this. But before I started the video, I removed that lighting and got what I consider to be more natural, realistic lighting put in. So keep that in mind. But you need light because sometimes it's going to become night. And we have clear skies on, so it's never going to get rainy or cloudy or rad stormy. It still gets dark. And I mean, you can sleep through it if you want, or you can push it out. All right. So let's fill in these basic quarters just a little bit. Now, feel free to like get as weird as you want. You can space out the bedding a little bit. So what I just did there, I wasn't sure which was the head or the bottom of this bed. I switched to the one before it, and the taller part is the head, right? So when I switch to this bed, I now know which the head's of this bed, the head of this bed, this is the head of this bed, etc. So anyway, so you can sort of set it up so you can kind of individualize a little bit. Maybe kind of create these as like little areas. Put some stuff in, like people are actually staying in these little spots individually. Or you can do what most people do and just line the whole place with a bunch of sleeping bags. But you see you've got your room, and then we can run over here to crafting. Give these guys a couple of things to play with, and ourselves included. There's my stove, there's my chemistry bench. Got a few activities for the folks. And went upstairs, and then again, mainly what I want right now is some bedding down. Again, I can personalize and play with it here in a bit. Some folks might be closer, some folks might be spread out a little more. Maybe somebody's got a nicer bed. They're special. But now we've got a little bit more room. We'll run up here too. So I have the mod on that allows me to use couches as beds, right? So this is going to kind of be like a hangout area anyway. I don't think those count as actual beds that people can sleep in. I don't think so. Guess we'll go with the red one. Or we have two of the same. That's weird. Yeah, one of these. Alright. Got a few beds for people to crash on. It'll look cool. Have people like laying around in the bar and stuff like they're passed out. Yep. I like it. the ugly couch. So I got some beds in. And one thing I'm missing is food. And luckily, this game allows you to sort of stack your materials. And so I'm making more than I need, really, in both water and food at Sanctuary. So I really only need a little bit here. But I do want to get a little bit of food production down, right? Just a few things. Actually, I might do that. And there's a couple ways to do this. No, this is a hunting and fishing mod. And all I'm going to need to do is assign someone to this rack of skins here. And that's going to give me 6 food. Actually, yeah, let's put you away. So I think this area right here might work. The only problem is I don't really know which direction they'll be approaching this thing. So let me get it pulled out just a little bit. It's a little floaty. Maybe more like here. Yeah, there we go. So there's 6 food right there. So again, I'm not looking for too much, but just a little bit to cover, the space. Just a couple of farmers. Remember, this is a fort. We don't really need fields of food, so we'll plant just a little row of mute fruit. And that's going to give me 12 food. And a little bit, like I said, a little bit of a realism. I mean, having a little garden, I could have mixed it up. I could have made a few of these, potatoes and a couple other different little, a couple stalks of corn maybe to make it a little farm. My stupid lamp. Alright, I can't deal with the nighttime anymore. This happens to me a lot. I just get frustrated. I'm like, ah! No. Can't see. So, I'm going to crash on the couch. Turn the lights on. It'll be a beautiful blue day because it's always a beautiful blue day. So my big plan for today is to get the basics in and the frame work in, basically. The bones of the project. Get the bare bones in. Alright, I don't want to accidentally take out the whole road here. But I always feel like there's sort of an opportunity here to sort of build kind of a waypoint, I suppose. I can't remember if I can put down a shrubbery. I can. A little too nice. There we go. It's floating very, very badly, though. That's, I don't know if that's happening. This thing here? No. It kind of looked alright for a second. Nah, that's garbage. Right? I was going to try to keep it natural, but it's a fort. Let's build a fort. I might be able to use a pillar to get a little bit more in there. Nah, I think that's going to have to do it there. Sure, that pulls me out a little further. Then give me one more. That's better. So from here, I'm going to switch down to wooden floors, supports, whatever this is. And try to line it up a little bit with this wall. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is so high. Alright, oh. I don't know if I can completely block that off. I don't think it would work any better. Well, maybe a little further. Nah. It's probably my best spot right here. Maybe here would have worked a little better. I don't think I can sink that in there, though. Yeah, if the concrete won't go in, then nothing will. Again, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Right. We're going to give it a go anyway. Let me see if I can put a wall on, though. Yep, good to go. Yoink that bad boy into there. There we go. And in theory, we've got kind of an entrance. Sort of. And then, let me see about a wall. The problem is, the slope is a little funky. Look at there. I think go a little further with it. It's kind of floaty, but all right. And like I mentioned before, right over there is a lot of times where you get attacked from. It's specifically kind of right through this little corridor they kind of come through. They can spread out and come out this way, but they tend to like kind of come through this area and then head into your base like that. So we kind of got a bit of that blocked off now. With a choke point, checkpoint type area. Speaking of which, let me finish that off. Got to have a proper checkpoint. And again, I'm going to go for that ceiling floor combo, shack upper floor. There we go. And I don't know if I can get a ladder in this corner. So we'll come from this angle. And if you got a floating one, just take another one and stick it right there. Yeah, this will work. Couple of those. We're starting to look official. I was going to use half walls. I don't think that'll work. There we go. Now, if you don't know, I'm going to teach you something here. A little fun fact. You can actually shove these in here pretty far. You can even get the barbed wire to kind of stick through. And your guard will still come up here and guard. And if you hop down on this side, you see, kind of get this little barbed wire little looking effect over here. Looks good. Ah, this whole thing looks good. I'm not displeased. We can put our rules up here on how to get in and whatever. Sorry, I'm having trouble with menus. There we go. Alright, choke points in. There's not too much more we can do except where is it? Go to fences. Here's the old junk wall and fence. And what I want where are you at? There she is. The old junk gate. And we'll go to the junk wall. I mean, they come in varying looks and combinations. That's why I like them. Feel like they fit the lore pretty well. Just open that for her. And the other thing about the junk fence is the way it looks, you can use some of the other fencing, I think, with it. So I want to jump back out here, maybe go to warehouse. Stick a couple of those on. You know what I'm saying? It has that same look and feel to it. Alright. Hop as high as I can get here, so we can get a survey. So I've used the natural cover over here to sort of limit the amount on the build. And we've got our back wall. I've used, and I do this a lot, I've used a structure not only to create space where I can have, you know, people, crafting, housing, all that kind of stuff, but also a space where it's a wall. I've got one area back here that's not overly protected with walls. I don't really need them though. I'm going to use something else. And the basic build part is done. And we're going to throw in one of those up there on the hill. And one here for any nasty visitors that come in this way. Go over to the NPCs. Run over to settlers. Now, the standard settler summoner, settler summoner, Jesus, gives you 3 randos. But the problem is there's kids in this, and it seems like that's the way you get kids the most, and kids are basically useless. So I usually just do male or female. Or, you know, give myself one of each. I want to show you how this works. So I place the female one. We're going to walk up to it. We're going to pull the lever here. And I'm going to back up just a little bit. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. I'm going to go right into build mode. Right into it. Like jump. Just right into it. Like, alright. And we're going to grab this lady right here, and we're going to move her to the red rocket truck stop, because you can see our population is 0. So when I click on this, right, we're going to send her to the red rocket. It says 1 person lives there. Now, for me not to lose her and have her wander away, I basically need to give her a job immediately. So she's going to go do that. And then we're going to talk to this lady right here. We're going to ask her to move to the red rocket truck stop. Alright, we now have a population of 2. We're going to grab her. And she's going to work back here on these skins, which will give me an instant 12 food. And then we got to look for the other lady. There she is. Move to Red Rocket Truck Stop. People go up to 3. Join the club. You're now a guard. Alright. So she'll walk back and forth between the 2 guard towers until I get another guard. And water. I knew I was missing something. There is no water resources around here. So we'll use the land one. Basically a well. I will find a better home for them, believe me, but that'll take care of that for now. And what I want to do is start getting my happiness up. And what they like food, they like water, and they like being well defended. And again, I don't want to start too much trouble, but I do want to have some defenses up. So I'm going to point these over here to where I know you can get attacks from. Got one up there. Again, I don't want to draw in problems. So I think for a secondary one, in case we have any issues from the road, I'm going to put a bullet turret up. They don't seem to fire as far as the laser turrets, so. So just like that, the water's set up. We have a good source of food and protection. We got our walls and our basic setup. We know where we're going to sleep and live. We've got room for more people. Again, the best bet is for me to turn this into a bar. Put down a rug for the bartender. He'll stand there with a clipboard, and you can just walk up to him and do what you got to do. And that's going to help improve the happiness. But at least that also gives you the idea or the intention of what this is supposed to be. And then upstairs, if I want, I can make it an apartment, another place to hang out. And people can crash on the couches. And just I mean, look at all the room that is still available for, things that I actually need if I want to make this a real base, role play, and doing whatever I need to do, as well as protection, and adding a healthy amount of bodies in here. To help protect the old sanctuary. So that's where we'll go in the next episode. I think I'm good for this episode. We used pretty much all the Crab Shack stuff, but it just, like I said, I think for the first base I want to go as realistic as possible with as many materials that are available. So it's not impossible to recreate what's being made here. I mean, some of these things, yeah. but generally speaking, you can get this done. And you know, I'm so happy. So far, it's working. All right, I'm gonna try to do a save. I know it's gonna do a weird screen thing, but give me just a second because I really want to see if this works. You know, when I get out of build mode. Alright, are we breaking it or not? Here we go. I'm just going to go for a new save file. And the answer is, it worked, ladies and jackal fiends, boys and squirrels. Ah, beyond excited. That means there's going to be more Fallout videos. I spent 5.5 to 6 hours so far getting all this stuff redone. That's not even counting re-downloading the game. I'll save that story for another day. I want to stay positive, but my gosh, that was rough. But I feel like I got what I wanted done in this video that I wanted to do consecutively with the last video. Sorry it took me so long, but again, there was just a lot of things in between I had to get done. I had to completely, like I said, delete, reload. Your mod list gets completely deleted when that happens, and for some reason a lot of my favorites and my library stuff got deleted too. I don't know why, but I had to start from scratch basically. Yeah. We're back, baby. So yeah, keep looking for more videos. I'm gonna do some actual building. I think I'd just show off some, kind of like I did in old Pizza's Palace there. Maybe I'll run over there to end the video. But do a couple of settlements set up. I want to do another luxury casino hotel build. It's one of my favorites. Next video will be fun for the Red Rocket because we're going to start adding things in that are, you know, we'll use the OC decorator, we'll build a story, we'll get some lighting. We will make it feel more lived in and populated and realistic when we get back. And then a quick shout to the last video too. I was talking about how what the things that we need. We need a good garden here. We need security. Shut up. It's greater than you ever had. Turrets, guards, right? We passed turrets on the way in. There's turrets back here on the house. So we want good defense, good food, and then, of course, we need good water. And we got that working back here. And the last time I checked, when I put the new beacon down, it brought in 1 person, so it brought me up to 7. Let's see if I snagged anybody else while I was goofing around here. And the idea is to get your happiness up quickly. Not quite yet. And these folks need like a little extra food, a little more food, water, and security than they need, and they will hopefully start showing up a little bit faster. So I can use the Andrew CX NPC settler makers here, these guys, and I like to do that for the settlers that aren't really ever going to go anywhere. But again, if for whatever reason they unassign from their jobs and their beds, you could lose a few of these guys. So having a few real settlers around certainly doesn't hurt, and having the conditions to bring them in with the recruitment radio is important. I want to just make that clear. Alright, gang, I think that's going to do it for this video. We'll see some more stuff like this. We're going to do more stuff like this when we get back to the next video. Some of the fun stuff of really just, like I said, adding that personal touch, making the Commonwealth feel like it's lived in. We're going to get that Red Rocket straight. So, alright folks, if you happen to catch this, thanks for watching. I appreciate it as always. If you happen to catch this at a later date or time, thanks for watching. I hope you guys I didn't even ask. Hope you guys are having a good day. I really hope you guys are having a good day. Y'all be great to each other. Or wait. Hope you guys are having a great day. Y'all be good to each other. Take care.